You are not lazy. If you were truly lazy, you wouldn't feel guilty all the time. You wouldn't stay awake at night thinking about everything you should have done. The truth is much darker. Your brain is not avoiding work. It is avoiding pain. And until you understand that, procrastination will control your entire life. You know exactly what you need to do. The task is sitting right there on your desk. The goal is clear. The deadline is approaching. You have the time. You have the resources. And you know deep down that finishing this one thing could fundamentally change your life. But instead of doing it, what do? You clean your entire room. You organize your computer desktop. You scroll through short videos for just 5 minutes, which seamlessly bleeds into 2 hours. You research the absolute best tools to do the job. You watch tutorials on how to do the job, but you never actually start the job. And as the sun goes down, a familiar, crushing weight settles in your chest. The guilt. You look at the clock and think, why am I like this? Why am I so lazy? Why do I constantly self-sabotage? You are not lazy. You do not lack discipline. And treating yourself like a lazy person is exactly why you have been stuck in this prison for years. Society has sold us a massive lie about procrastination. We are told it is a time management problem. We are told to download another productivity app, buy a new calendar, or try the Pomodoro technique. But think about it. If procrastination was just a time management problem, you would have solved it by now. You are smart enough to use a clock. Psychology reveals a completely different truth. Procrastination is not a time management problem. It is an emotion regulation problem. You are not avoiding the work. You are avoiding the negative emotion associated with the work. When you look at that blank page, that unfinished business plan, or that gym membership, your brain doesn't just see a task. Your amygdala, the fear center of your brain, perceives a threat. It feels anxiety, confusion, or the absolute terror of not being good enough. Procrastination is a subconscious survival mechanism. Your brain is trying to protect you from feeling bad. This is exactly why the most intelligent, creative people often get trapped the hardest. The higher your standards, the harder it is to begin. You have a pristine, brilliant vision in your head of how perfect this project could be. But when you sit down to actually do it, you immediately realize the painful gap between your high taste and your current ability. The first draft is going to be bad. The first attempt is going to be messy, and your ego cannot handle that. So your brain creates a brilliant, self-protecting illusion. If I don't try, I can't fail. As long as the project remains unfinished in your head, it remains perfect. It has infinite potential. The moment you write the first word, you kill the potential and face the messy reality. Procrastination is the shield you use to protect your ego from the humiliation of being a beginner. But this protection comes at a horrific cost. Have you ever noticed that when you procrastinate, you don't actually enjoy the free time? You lie on the couch, but your heart is racing. You watch a movie, but you can't focus. This is known in psychology as the Zeigarnik Effect. Discovered by psychologist Bluma Zeigarnik in the 1920s, it states that our brains remember uncompleted tasks much better than completed ones. An unfinished task creates a state of constant cognitive tension. It leaves an open loop in your brain, draining your mental battery in the background like an app left running on your phone. This is why you feel exhausted when you've done nothing all day. Procrastinating isn't resting. It is actively suffering. You're suffering from the guilt of the past, the anxiety of the future, and the paralysis of the present, all at the same time. So, how does your brain cope with this intense, lingering anxiety? It seeks an immediate escape route. It looks for cheap, fast dopamine to numb the discomfort. You open social media. You play a video game. You eat junk food. For a brief, intoxicating moment, the anxiety disappears. You get a spike of feel-good chemicals. But cheap dopamine has a terrifying interest rate. The longer you delay the task, the more the anxiety grows in the dark. The monster in the closet gets bigger. By the time the deadline is hours away and you finally face it, it feels like an insurmountable mountain. You have drained all your willpower on distractions, leaving you completely empty just when you need your strength the most. To justify this cycle, we use the most dangerous word in the human language: tomorrow. I'll start tomorrow when I feel more motivated. I'll do it on Monday when I have a fresh start. Behavioral economists call this time inconsistency. Brain imaging shows that when we think about our future selves, the brain activity resembles how we think about a complete stranger. You literally do not empathize with tomorrow you. You imagining a future version of yourself in the future who is somehow fundamentally different from who you are today. You imagine that tomorrow you will have boundless energy, perfect discipline, and zero fear. But let me tell you a harsh, undeniable truth. Tomorrow you is exactly the same as today you. There is no magical wave of motivation coming to save you. Motivation does not create action. Action creates motivation. You have the equation completely backwards. So, how do we break out of this paralysis? How do we hack real life and take our minds back? Step 1 is the hardest, but it is non-negotiable. You have to forgive yourself. Right now. Forgive yourself for the wasted time. Forgive yourself for the missed opportunities. Beating yourself up only increases your negative emotions, which, as we just learned, makes you want to procrastinate even more to escape the pain. Drop the guilt. It is a useless, toxic emotion. You cannot change yesterday, but you can ruin today by worrying about it. Today is day 1. Step 2. Lower the bar. Aggressively lower the bar. Give yourself permission to make garbage. Tell yourself, I am going to write the worst page in human history. I am going to do a terrible, sloppy 5-minute workout. When you remove the expectation of perfection, you remove the anxiety. And when the anxiety is gone, the procrastination vanishes. You only need to trick your brain into taking the very first microscopic step. Once you cross the friction of starting, physics takes over. An object in motion stays in motion. You have greatness inside you, but it means absolutely nothing if it stays trapped in your head. The world doesn't reward potential. It rewards execution. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop waiting to feel ready. You will never feel ready. Embrace the mess. Do it badly. Just start. You are one decision away from a completely different life. Close this video and go. You are not lazy. If you were truly lazy, you wouldn't feel guilty all the time. You wouldn't stay awake at night thinking about everything you should have done. The truth is much darker. Your brain is not avoiding work. It is avoiding pain. And until you understand that, procrastination will control your entire life.